Welcome to a Terraria weapon guide. In this guide we're going to be talking about and focusing on the Scourge of the Corruptor. The Scourge is a post-plantera melee weapon that you can obtain from the dungeon's corruption chest, meaning that you can only obtain this weapon after plantera. Is it worth its insanely rare price? That's going to be the topic of today's video, so let's get right into it. To unlock the corruption chest in the dungeon, you're going to need a corruption key. The corruption key can be obtained from any mob in a corruption biome as soon as you enter hard mode. Now, a reasonably fast way to obtain this item would be to set up this mob farm. If you clear out enough space underground and place at least 200 corruption blocks, you'll have a corruption biome. With a little lava and some dart traps, you can AFK this corruption farm and have the key in less than a day. So if you're willing to build this farm, which you can change the biome of whenever you're done with corruption, then the Scourge of the Corruptor is a very reasonable weapon to obtain, but I would definitely recommend building this farm in pre-hard mode. So once you get your key and defeat plantera, make your way to the dungeon to find the corruption chest. Once you open it, you'll find the weapon we've been talking about, the Scourge of the Corruptor. Often overshadowed by the vampire knives, the Scourge doesn't seem to be talked about a lot, but I believe this weapon is exceptional for what it is. It gives you some much needed space as a melee player, so you don't always have to be tanking a lot of damage to deal a lot of damage. The Scourge deals a respectable 70 base damage and throws out javelin projectiles, which break on contact with enemies or solid blocks into mini eaters. The mini eaters only deal 75% of the weapon's base damage, but the ability to ricochet off walls and home onto enemies make it very useful long range. Just look how well it deals with these pumpkin moon enemies. Pair the Scourge with a fire gauntlet for a show of mini eaters on fire taking up your entire screen. So in conclusion, I think this weapon is very reliable and it's worth getting at the stage of the game it becomes available in. And you can really take this weapon past Golem. I wouldn't be using this against the cultist or the pillars, but it really can take you deep into the game. It gives you a different way to play melee, and the mob farm you build to get this key will be very useful for the rest of your time playing Terraria. So make sure to use the Scourge of the Corruptor in your next melee playthrough, and that's going to be all for this weapon guide. Thanks for watching, and be sure to check out my other videos and leave any feedback or suggestions you guys want to see in the future.